How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we are on with our next episode, being number, as I believe it is, number 61 of the previously in Dragon Ball Super card game. And for this week, we're going over the spoilers for 2020 again, so continue on. And it is going very, very slowly. Like, there's been no trailer release. Like, so the hype is quite low. We don't know what to expect. We know a few characters. I know we're still supposed to be Super Oob showing off in there, and I think maybe Ender 21 and Cell as well. So there are some other characters we think we know in there, or kind of been confirmed through the distribution information that was given out. And yeah, we're just slowly going through it, 2 a day, no real information about it, and some of them might be a bit confusing as well. But we're still going through it. We're going to go over the week's news and cover the spoilers given this week for set 20 Power Absorbed. But before we do that, feel free to hit the like button if you do enjoy this video and also enjoy the series. Hit the comments if there's anything I've gone over that you weren't clear about or I wasn't clear about, or if there's anything you want cover over or anything you want me to showcase on the channel. Be happy to do that. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It keeps you updated with my videos as and when they drop. And also it helps me get to my goal that we're currently on the way to, is 1,000 subs. We just hit over halfway here now, so we've got the 500 sub giveaway, and that's still going if you want to go check that out in another video that's on the channel. But without further ado, let's go and check out the spoilers for this week, because we're still on yellow. So, starting off, we're getting some of the Z cards that are there for the yellow Vegito deck. So the yellow Vegito that flips over into Goku and Vegeta, focusing on the Spirit Bomb field. And in true fashion, the flavor in this deck is amazing, because it actually encapsulates the actual Buu Saga fight, like the big fight at the end of the Buu Saga. And they go with that because the leader goes from a Vegito, like a Super Saiyan Vegito, flip him over without awakening or anything, just flip him over once you hit that second energy to Goku and Vegeta. And it's supposed to be using, like when he uses Spirit Bomb to defeat Kid Buu. And in great fashion with that, they've got the 2 Z leaders for this. So it's the first time we've got 2 Z leaders for a given archetype, and also here's Hercule as well to help like get the power up, so they kind of clap with a finisher of using the Spirit Bomb. So the first one we've got is Son Goku Spirit Bomb Hope, and then the other Z leader we got is Essa Son Goku Majin Showdown. Because if you don't know, when Goku goes to hit him with the Spirit Bomb, he's in his base form, and then after hitting him with the Spirit Bomb and trying to push it on him, Vegeta uses one of the wishes to kind of revive, like basically completely heal up Goku so he can go back into Super Saiyan after that and push even further to kind of finish the game. And that's kind of what we got in the terms of flavor for these Z leaders. So the first one we got with the Son Goku Spirit Bomb Hope, it requires 2 Z energy. It's 15k, and the Z Awaken is for 1 yellow as well, when you ask for less on top of any yellow Goku, so you can use this on any yellow Goku lead. And they're currently, I know there is definitely the yellow Goku one from set 17, the one that came along with Piccolo, so you got that one as well to use on, but it doesn't really go well with it considering what you need. And also when you do perform Awaken and puts on lead, you then trigger Z Stack, which is Z Stack 1. And what Z Stack is you place a yellow Son Goku leader with Z energy, with a Z energy cost of 4 underneath this card. So it reads as when putting this card into play on top of a leader card from your Z deck, you place up to 1 of the specified cards from your Z deck under this card. So essentially, when you played Z Awaken into this lead, you then put the other Z lead you see on screen underneath the leader, so underneath the stack that's in your leader area. So that's how it works. This is the second time we've seen Z Stack. Hopefully, there's a few more bits making good use of it. 'Cause it's, from the sound of Z Stack, there could be some things that put a lot of good work in with it. But now, when you do that, go into the Z leader, you now have 2 activate mains, and the first one is a good one to help charge up that Spirit Bomb to actually make use of it, because you need 7 cards in that Spirit Bomb, which is quite a lot. And if you can only put 1 a turn, that's going to give a long while to try and get there. But yellow is one of those decks that can get one of those colors anyway that can get to that later turn. And its activate main is once per turn, place 1 card from your hand under a Spirit Bomb card in your battle area as the cost, and then you just draw 2 cards. So essentially you're charging up faster by Z Awakening, which you normally want to do, because at least this way it makes it so you don't have to attack to gain advantage, because you're just putting a card under the draw 2 without the need to attack, which is quite nice. So you can redirect your attacks wherever you want to go. But you also try to use Spirit Bomb as well to get there faster, to then pull off the big turn pushing game, the turn ending push. And you also got a never activate main, which allows you to make use of the other Z lead that you put underneath the stack of cards in your Z lead, or in your leader area. And as for the second activate main, which is if there are 7 more cards under a Spirit Bomb card in your battle area, you get to remove this card from the game, like you do with any Z card, remove from the game. Then place it to one Son Goku Z leader from under your leader card on top of your leader, and if you place the card, then you may switch your leader to active mode. So essentially, what that means from a little bumbling I did with reading that is once you get the 7 or more cards under your Spirit Bomb, you can remove this card from the game, and then place the Z leader you put under your Z leader stack or your leader area stack from the Z stack one on top of your leader. And if you do that, you get to switch your leader to active mode. So it means you can attack with this, and then activate the activate main to basically get rid of this leader, put the SS Son Goku Majin Showdown Z leader from underneath the lead on top of the lead, and then switch to active mode so you can swing again. Not too bad, because you don't really, because that's not really good, because with this lead, if you want to play it normally, you require 4 Z energy and 4 actual energy to awaken on Z awaken on top of this the leader for this from set, the yellow Son Goku and Vegeta card. But now when you go into this one afterwards, this is how you're going to push through further and push off that last bit, the game ending damage. Because it has a nice little permanent where if there are 7 or more cards in your combo area, and this card is in a battle, negate the skills of all cards in your opponent's combo area. It means they get no effects that trigger when they're in the combo area, so no super combos to draw. They can still combo with super combos to get the 10k, but they get no effect, well, as long as they've got printed with 10k. But they get no skills like to draw cards or anything like that, so they can still get potentially these 10ks, but no replacing your hand, so no super combos, just replace them to make them a free 10k or anything like that. They've got to actually try and use all the combo power they have in their hand. And this one, unlike the other one, now has an auto when this card attacks, you draw 1. So basically, when you're restanding on this one, you're then attacking again, try and push the damage through, and you get that draw as well. And the activate battle is how you're going to finish off. It's almost similar to how we used to do it for a yellow sets ago. And that's for the activate battle, where if there are 7 or more cards in your combo area, and this card is at a battle, that's the requirement. For the battle, this card gains double strike, and at the end of the battle, remove this card from the game. So you're swinging for a base 20 lead that can then give it double strike as long as you've got 7 more cards in combo. Remember, you don't have to just have all the cards from Spirit Bomb going in there. You can still have more cards to combo as well. So you can say if you charge 7 cards and use Spirit Bomb, and not all of them are combo power, say like 5 out of 7 cards actually have combo power. You can use those, then combo 2 more cards or more cards to get out of 7 that have the activate battle and permanent being live. So do remember that. And then the other Z battle card we've seen so far that seems to be on this part of the yellow decks, and this is Hercule Rallying Hope. That's a 1 cost 10k, 1 cost 1k with 1 Z energy cost, and Barrier as well. With an active main, we'll see similar on the battle card of the same character as well, which is switch this card to rest mode. You may choose any number of your battle cards, switch them to rest mode. If you do, for each battle card you switch to rest mode by the skill other than this card, you may place the top card of your deck under a Spirit Bomb in your battle area. Now that's quite cool, another way to do it, but it seems weird how they have to rest this card and rest others to do it. Then it seems like you're resting too much, and you have to have all these different things on board, all these different battle cards on board to be able to rest them to be able to charge a Spirit Bomb quickly. But I reckon with Spirit Bomb itself, putting cards in the lead, and this Z leader as well, Son Goku Spirit Bomb Hope, that's enough to not really need to use this Z battle card. So it seems like a little bit of waste of space, because you don't want to get enough energy anyway in the later turns after pushing a bit of damage to be able to push out, and yellow can go for the long game. So that is the first ones, being the yellow Z cards we've seen. Then we have some of the 1-drops that are quite interesting, quite useful for the deck to kind of charge up a little bit quicker. We have Kabito Kai, Patara on display, Dende laying the foundation, and Hercule expecting the unexpected. So we'll start off with Kabito Kai, this one being quite a nice one. They're all 1-drops as well, all 4k apart from Hercule being 1k. And his auto for Kabito Kai is when this card is played, look at the 5 cards on top of your deck, and it's a 1 Saiyan or Earthling card, both yellow and with an energy cost of 4 or less, among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So it's a nice little searcher for yellow Saiyan or Earthlings, and yeah, it's like we normally get. Most decks also get a 1-drop searcher to try and find most of the little parts of their archetype. And it's also got an activate main as well to make it a little bit extra use as well. It doesn't have power to keep on board, but normally if you play this after from turn 2 onwards, you can get this second effect straight after. And that is activate main limit 1. If your leader is a Son Goku or a Vegeta card, both yellow, and you have energy costs, you have 2 or more energy, and you send this card to its owner's warp. So it can work with any yellow Goku or Vegeta lead, which is quite cool. Once you get to turn 2, and you get that allows you, once you pay that cost and have that requirement done, you get to play it to 1 yellow battle card and she costs 1 from your deck with a skills negated for the turn and shuffle your deck. So essentially allows you to get these other two, the Dende or the Hercule, because Dende's got the barrier and Hercule's got the way to not be really removed, like dealt with easy enough. And they come in with the skills negated, but as soon as you pass your turn, they have the skills again. So if you want to leave it the weight or have get a blocker out of this, it could be quite useful, and it's not too bad of a card. This could be a card as well, just generically. And then we have Dendale in the Foundation, who is unique barrier. So only one same with Hercule as well. Both have unique, so you can have one on the board at a given time. And Dendale's got a little bit of barrier to protect itself. And his effect is activate main once per turn. If your leader is a yellow Son Goku Z leader, and you send 1 yellow battle card from your drop to your warp as the cost, and the requirement, you get to play 1 Earthling token that is 1k power, 0 combo cost, 0 combo power, and it gains barrier until the end of your opponent's next turn. So essentially what this seems to be is that it allows you to bring out tokens, so you can use them to be rested for the Hercules to get more cards quicker under your Spirit Bomb. So that just seems to be. But also this does trigger that hopefully we get more token packs, because now we have an Earthling token to go with the Demon Realm Soldier token that we can make from cards, but haven't actually got actual tokens like most of the other tokens have. So hopefully that triggers us getting more token packs soon that actually have those relevant tokens. That would be pretty cool. And yeah, that's not too bad for that card. But then we've also got Hercule, which is basically the same as Z-Lead, but with a few extra things on it. And Hercule, it has, once again, looks like Dende's got unique, so only 1 copy on the board. It has 2 permanents, which is the only difference between the Z battle card, really. And its first permanent is it can't be KO'd while it's in rest mode, so it means while it's in rest mode, it can't be KO'd by attacking or by skills, just can't be KO'd. And then its other permanent is if your leader is yellow and has both Son Goku and Vegeta card, and if your leader is yellow, a Son Goku and Vegeta card, and you have a yellow Dende card in play, you get to reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 1. So 1 yellow may seem allowing you to play it for free without paying its energy cost. And then the activate main is exactly the same as what's on the Z battle card, meaning you can rest itself and then choose any other number of your battle cards in your battle area and switch into rest mode to put a card under your Spirit Bomb for each card you do rest. So if you play out Dende and then free play out Hercule and then use Dende to get a token, you can rest Dende, because remember, barrier only stops your opponent from affecting the card, not yourself. You can switch Dende to rest and the token to rest to get 2 cards written underneath there. So you can kind of ramp it up, but it seems a little bit pointless when you got the actual field card itself and the Z leader putting 2 cards underneath it a turn to charge it up, and you got more control over those cards looking as putting what you want underneath there, rather than random cards on top of your deck where you can hit extra cards or anything that aren't actually useful. So yeah, it doesn't seem like these are overly useful to Dende and Hercule, but the Kai is actually not too bad for a just generic searcher for any yellow deck, really. And then we go on to the last 2 for the yellow Goku, the yellow Vegeta deck, and that is the big boss card it's got, which in SS3 Son Goku Universe at Stake, which is actually a pretty good a yellow card for generic, as yellow is quite generic. It's quite a good card for any yellow deck, really, as long as you got a Z lead or Z battle cards to use for it. And then we got the Majin Buu Desperate Defiance, which is a nice little card play. So starting off with the SS3 Goku Universe Stakes of 8 drop, 30k, 0 cost 5k combo, and it's got Deflect as well, so nice little thing to have Deflect on 8 drops, something being affected by any of the counter plays, but even though one of those out of those free players, 1 has been limited and 1's been banned, and the other 2 might never get touched, maybe. But outside that, it also just has 3 effects, an auto and 2 activate mains. The first auto is when this card attacks, you choose one or two effects. You either choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, or up to one of your opponent's cards, ignoring barrier and switching the rest. So that'd be energy, leader card, unison card, battle card, field card, any one of your opponent's cards. Remember, this auto is not once per turn as well. Switching to rest mode. And then the other one is choose to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So either removal or switching any card to rest, which is quite nice. And you can play it out for cheap because no one really plays cards using their actual printed cost. And for this one, it's activate main for 2 yellow. If your leader is a yellow Z leader or you have a yellow Z battle card in play, and your opponent has 3 or more energy as the requirement, then you get to play this card from your hand, and if a yellow extra card is in your battle area, you get to draw 1 card. So, gets an extra draw if you've got a field card, so things like that. But you can play this out for 2 energy quite well. And then we've got the active main, the second one being limit 1. If all cards in your battle area are switched to are in rest mode, switch this card to active mode. So that's very easy to pull off to get us. So it's essentially a dual attacker, but yeah, but with extra steps essentially. But that's not too bad. Activate main, be like a dual attacker that gets rest to your opponent's cards, be any cards, energy, stuff like that, or being a 30k base is quite nice. It's a very nice big boss card, and just, well, there's a really good yellow card in general, really. And then we've got Majin, Desperate Defiance. It's a counterplay, but limit 1. Play this card, so essentially just play the card, but only once a turn. And it's got a permanent where if you have a yellow Hercule card in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without playing its energy cost. So if you get that Hercule battle card or Hercule Z battle card, you can play this card as a free counterplay, even though it just play itself. But just like the Frieza green free counterplay, its counterplays affect itself because its auto is where as well. And for this one, it's if your leader is a yellow Son Goku card. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 4 or less, switch to rest mode. So you get to essentially play this and then switch something to rest mode. That's 4 or less. That's not too bad. Now it's not amazing, but it's not too bad though, especially when you can make it as a free counterplay as well, given very few restrictions. Not too bad. And then we go on to the second lead. So as most people suggested and expected as well, we're going to get a yellow Majin Buu lead because it was a Majin Buu saga for the Vegito into Goku and Vegeta, and normally, most of the time, when it comes to sets, they're normally you can tell what the side is depending on the saga, and in this case it was the Majin Buu saga, so it's going to be them versus Majin Buu, given it's the main big bad of the saga. But then we have had some sets where they kind of over colors the parts, like I think it was set 13, where it was King Cold versus King Vegeta, but King Vegeta was in red and King Cold was in blue. Green. And then we had the Shield and Bardock, with Bardock being red and Shield being green in the same set as well. But in this case, no, we got a yellow Buu leader, so Buu's almost had a leader in every color. He's had a blue leader, a green leader, and a black leader. Just hasn't had a red one, but it's had some cards in red though. That's the thing. So now we get a Buu leader, and it goes from the Fat Buu to the Super Buu. So Majin Buu into Majin Buu Absorb and Complete. And is very nice, generic, and very good leader as well. So I'm looking forward to this. And from some of the cards we've seen so far, it looks to be the better of the archetypes, like the less gimmicky one. Well, less flavorful some, I think, is the correct term. But it's got an auto. When this card attacks, you draw 1 card. That's on the front, so simple swing to draw 1. Then it's also got activate main, which is once per turn. You look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 yellow Majin card with energy cost of 6 or less among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck, and if you added a card to your hand, you discard 1 card from your hand. So that makes sense because the archetype for some of the cards we've really seen seems to be dealing with the doing stuff with the drop, to be able to absorb things and use stuff from the drop, which is quite interesting. So we need to see more of to see how relevant that activate main is going to be, but still, just generically like that, it's quite cool. And then, just like we've seen most cards do, the Awaken hints at another card we haven't seen yet, which we'll see soon enough. And that's the Awaken of when your life is at 4 or less, or you have a yellow Majin Z battle card in play with an energy cost of 2 or more. Then you get to draw 1 card, switch up to 1 energy active mode, take your life down to 6, and then flip over, which is quite nice. So a nice alternative awakening condition as well, to not needing to be at 4. And now on the awakened side of the lead, you now have 2 autos. The first one is an upgrade to the auto to draw, which is auto discard 1 card from your hand, So discard one yellow card from your hand as the cost. When this card attacks, draw 2 cards. So nice little filter there. Discard any yellow cards, even yellow extra cards set for mecha that'd be cheaper, which is quite cool. And draw 2 brand new cards. You can go through your deck quite well. Because I've had that experience with the yellow Piccolo, just things like that allow you to draw through your deck really, really quickly. And then we have the Ever Auto, which is once per turn. If it's your opponent's turn, when you play a yellow Majin card, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, switch to rest mode. Nice bit of a stun there that yellow is really good at. So that's the blue lead. We've not seen the Z battle card. We've seen some other stuff though, because this came only a few days to finally see the Ever side of yellow, and we're slowly going through it because these reveals are going so slow, like snail's pace slow. But we did get some of the big boss cards. Like we're going to see the big boss cards for each color, well, for both sides of the color now. And the boss cards for the blue side of yellow is Majin Buu Power Manifest and Majin Buu Vile Onslaught. So the first one, Majin Buu, well, they're both 8 drops, but Power Manifest is 25k, whereas Vile Onslaught is 30k. And Power Manifest is a triple striker with 2 autos. First one being limit 1, and requiring to pay 1 yellow. And if your leader is a Majin Buu or Evil Wizard Babidi card, both yellow and it's your opponent's turn, and you choose one of your yellow Majin cards with energy cost of 6 in rest mode as the requirement and cost. And then the effect is at the end of a battle where this card is using the combo, play this card from your drop in active mode on top of the chosen card. So essentially playing things on a stack of cards during your opponent's turn, which is quite cool. And then we've got an auto on this, well, the second auto being limit 1 as well, where if you have 5 or more energy and there are 5 Majin cards under this card, when this card attacks, it gets 10k power for the turn, and at the end of the battle, place this card into its drop area and play up to 1 yellow Majin card with 30k power from your hand. And a good target for that is this Majin Buu Vile Onslaught as well. So after swinging with a triple striker, and you can potentially get a very good swing and then get this new card out. And you might think that's not a great benefit because from this Vile Onslaught, you can see at the activate main at the bottom being limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is yellow and you have 4 more energy, play this card from your hand. You might think, what's the point of playing it off that, using that effect, when you can just play it turn 4 by that effect, and that is from the first auto, because this card has deflect and double strike, so no triple strike, but still double strike. And its auto is if your leader is a yellow Majin Buu card, when this card is played by another card skill, it gains barrier and dual attack for the turn, and then you choose up to 2 of your opponent's cards, switch them to rest mode, and they can't be switched to active mode during your opponent's next charge phase. So if you do play off this Ever 8 drop Majin Buu, you also gain not just double strike, but dual attack as well to get 2 double strike swings, also get barrier to protect itself, and also switch 2 of your opponent's cards to rest mode and lock them down for their charge phase. So it's not too bad. That is very, very good. And it also has an Ever Auto where limit 1, if you use one of your yellow Majin Buu or yellow Babidi, Evil Wizard Babidi card skills to discard this card from your hand, you get to choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, which is the rest mode. So yeah, so if you discard off if it's discarded off any yellow Majin Buu or yellow Evil Wizard Babidi card skills, you get a bit of resting on your opponent's battle cards, which is pretty cool. So these are really nice cards. Like this Majin Buu Vile Onslaught is just to be a really good card for yellow in general. Just be on a pay 1 at turn 4 for a 30k double striker is very, very good. Very, very good. Then we get to the last 2 spoilers we got today, and that is the promo leader. That's right, even though we're going through the set 20 Power Absorb spoilers, Bandai dropped a promo leader, but they explained how we get this promo lead or what the promo lead is for. But I'm speculating that it is for the pre-release for this set, because normally when we do a pre-release, we get promo leaders, and even though we didn't have a promo pre-release for set 19, we did have like a holiday event, which was kind of like a replacement for the pre-release, which also gave us a leader. But normally when we do a pre-release, you get some cards with it, so I reckon there's going to be another card to go with it, which could be a Z card, or even have Z cards in the deck, in the set, for it to go with this lead, because it's a kind of a... This lead kind of goes with AOD and the Majin deck. And it seems really good as well, this lead. Really interesting. Some pretty good plays with some of the new cards we got for AOD as well. And on the front side, it's got an auto. When it attacks, you draw 1 card, and then you can add up to 1 card from your life. Add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, so you can get Self-Awakening built in and a nice bit of draw. And in Awaken, it's basically plain and simple. If your life's at 5 or less, draw 1, untap 1, flip over. So nice that you can awaken at 5 instead of 4. And now once you awaken, you now have Overlord. So like going with the Servant and Overlord stuff, and a very good way to actually use it as well. So Overlord is once per turn as well, and it's permanent. It's got as well because it's got Overlord. It's got so first keyword goes Overlord. There's got permanent. It's got auto. And it's got activate mains. It's got almost one of every skill. And its permanent is you get the tree Agent Destruction cards in your Z deck as if they have no specified cost, and reduce energy cost and Z energy cost of Agent Destruction cards in your Z deck by 1. So essentially, if we get a fair few AOD cards, then that's great because it goes with this and the original AOD lead. And but this one gets to reduce the cost and Z cost by 1 of them, and remove their specified cost as well. And the only sucky difference with this is that the auto is now changed. So instead of just gaining advantage, it's now discard 1 card from your hand as the cost to trigger the auto, which is when it attacks, draw 1. So unlike most leaders, when you just have to attack with your lead to draw 1, this has to make you discard 1 in order to do that. But it makes sense given that it works with the yellow Majin Buu stuff, the Majin stuff, allowing you to get effects by triggering that, which is quite cool. And you might be thinking, how do you use Overlord for Majin and for yellow Majin and some Agent Destruction stuff when none of them have Servant? And that's easily through the activate main, which is once per turn, choose up to 2 of your Majin cards and or Agent Destruction cards, and they gain Servant for the turn. Now this is really good. I really like this. That means you can basically drop some Agent Destruction stuff or Majin stuff, give it Servant and make it a little bit stronger. So remember, Servant makes it so they can't attack during your next charge phase, but they get 10k power for while they've got Servant. So it becomes 10k boost, but can't restand. But they only have Servant for the turn, so after you've done, they will restand during your charge phase because the Servant is dropped off by them. So you get essentially given 2 of your cards, extra 10k power for the turn. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're given up to 2 of your Majin or Agent Destruction cards, 10k power for the turn, which is solid. Very, very solid. And then you get to sack them off if you want to the bottom of your deck using Overlord to draw a card, at least once a turn, which is really nice. And one of the nice things we've got is with if you look at the new Dash pack, we've got a Janemba, which people got confused about, like what does this do? What does Janemba make use of in it? Because it has a skills negate, can have a skills negated net from at all. So when you bring it out from Garlic, you get to have it with skills off, and that plays really well with this because you can pay 1 for that yellow Garlic because you'll normally go with the Babidi that helps with agent structure, makes the cost less than this specified cost. You can, for 1 energy, just pay the Garlic. Garlic will then play Janemba. Janemba then doesn't have a skills negated, so then you can use the effect of this lead, give them both servants. So now they go 15k each to 25k each because of servant. Swing with the Garlic to then swing for 25. Then use the effect of Janemba to bounce it back to your hand, the Garlic back to your hand, so you can restand the Janemba lead. And then you can swing with Janemba for 25k, and then use the effect of the lead to now use Overlord on the Janemba that has Servant to pop it back to the deck to draw 1. So that way when you negate with Garlic or do it again next turn, you've got the target back in the deck to do the same thing over and get 2 25k swings and a draw off of 1 energy, and still have the card and not really lost anything in your hand. You just basically +1 and got 2 25k swings in. That's one thing I really like the look of this lead, and the more cut stuff we get, the more things that go with this to give us some more options and some nice stuff as well. So that is it for today. That is it, well, this week anyway. That is it for this spoiler. So we're going to see more of the yellow spoilers because we've got to go over the rest of the yellow ones for the Majin Buu deck, and hopefully we'll see another colour by the end of the next week or the week starting the week after. And hopefully maybe have a trailer at some point, if there actually is one, to see what's actually in this set to get a bit more hype. Because so far, with this set, the hype's been a roller coaster. The hype's been high, the hype's been low, high, low. It's gone up and down throughout this. Because we'll start off with something strong, we'll start off with something looking really cool, or we'll start off with something looking really terrible. Then another card come out to either raise it or lower it, and it's just some horrible wave. And Bandai just seem to be all over the place when trying to hype us up for this set, because even though it doesn't come out till March, so a good month and a bit away, we're still having less hype because we don't know what's going on, what's in it, and don't have a normally scheduled thing. Because unlike most other games, we don't have a version of it that's released further, like say with things like Yu-Gi-Oh, they have the set released like months in advance in Japan, where people can see what's going to be over in the West by looking at the East. But we don't have this for this kind of game, so we have the trailers. That is how we get our hype, through trailers for this game, because we don't have the same thing as most other games. But that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.